Hey, welcome to yesterday's project. I'm working on this 1996 Polaris Indy light. This thing I picked up real cheap. It's real low hours, very clean sled. Picked it up from the original owner, and I was just going through doing some maintenance, changing the chain case oil, grease and everything. And when I went to grease the underside, the skid looked like it had never been touched or greased or maintained. And this is the skid here. I've got it out, and here's the bolt holes. You can see the edge of the bolt got in here, and it really widened these holes out. This one's sort of an oval. So I'm gonna try to TIG weld this and repair it. I started out, I've got just a piece of plate here. This is about the thickness. So I did kind of a setup to get my TIG welder. I drilled a big hole in this and welded it closed, and then I re-drilled it. So that's going to be, my plan is to just weld this thing completely closed and then just re-drill the hole. So I wanted to warm up a little, so I started by, these things didn't come with a bumper, so I made a bumper, just welded it out of some scrap aluminum I had laying around. I'm not very experienced with the TIG welder, so this should be a interesting experiment. But I couldn't find a used skid anywhere for these 340s. I don't think they were a super popular setup. So the welder I'm going to be using is Precision TIG 225. I picked it up at an estate sale a few years ago, and I've played around a little bit with it. So tune in. I'm going to prep this thing and weld her up. So I've got the skid. I've gone ahead and smoothed out the hole, and I've got a metal backer to absorb some of the heat, and so that I can just fill this in. I've ground down this other hole, so I'll do that next. And I'll have to build this up a little bit because you can see it's kind of thin right there. And then I'll just fill it and drill it back out. So we'll see how it goes. So there's the tabs. You can see the steel backer I just clamped on there. So I just got to kind of grind it down and hopefully re-drill the hole, and hopefully that'll work. Alright, so here's my skids. I ground it down and then drilled the holes. And so I got 1, 2, and 3. And this one was one I didn't do anything to. So I didn't spend too much time grinding it, so it was perfectly smooth. I just kind of left a little extra meat on there. And then from the top, I got my thickness back. So yeah, I'll see how this holds up. I'm no professional TIG welder, kind of my first rodeo here. So, but yeah, hoping that works. So that's my snowmobile skid repair, function over form.